Hey guys, it's Alex. This is the third installment of Circling the Wagons. This will be the last one for the 2014 season, and I'm going to just be discussing today's game over the Patriots and basically what transpired in the early games today. And I don't have Pierre Gabber with me today, so this one's probably going to be a short show. But let's just go ahead and jump into it. The Bills won today, 17-9. Tom Brady didn't play the whole second half. And quite honestly, I don't think it would have mattered either way. Um, the Patriots just kind of looked flat. Didn't look like they were even trying too hard today. And a lot of people on Facebook were saying that had we have beat the Raiders last week, we would have had our own destiny in our hands, which isn't true because Cincinnati beating the Broncos last Monday night would have eliminated us from the playoffs anyway. But I will put a couple positives out there. The Bills finally got their first win in Gillette Stadium, and they've ended a 14-game or 13-game losing streak, and we've had our first winning season in 10 years. So that's something positive. I don't believe Orton is going to help us much next year unless there's a drastic change in the offensive play call. There were too many plays in this game against the Patriots where we should have done some type of trick play or even, not been so obvious. Third and 2, third and 1, and you're running the ball straight up the gut. It's pretty obvious what you're trying to do, especially on every third down. At least they got a little bit creative in the beginning of the game, but it looks like they kind of, held back a little bit once we got the lead. It was nice to see Sammy finally get utilized, being moved all over the field. As Pierre has stated in previous ones, it does seem like he's a bit of a decoy. This game, it looked like they were trying to get him a little bit more involved. The running game was efficient, not productive, but efficient. And Robert Woods is probably one of the most underrated wide receivers on the team, if not in the league. But I don't know, what's going to happen from here. I think that Marone earned himself another season. And like everybody's been saying on Facebook, I don't think changing the coach every couple of years is going to help. You're not going to develop any type of consistency or belief in the system if you keep changing the coach every couple of years. I still think, maybe next year Marone will get a better grasp of the team. I do think the players believe in him. He's not very motivational in terms of speaking. He's a lot like Bill Belichick, but he is devoted to winning. And that's the exact reason why EJ didn't play today. He could have put him in the second half, seen what he had, but I think that Marone wanted to come out and prove a point today that he wanted to win. And I think he proved that point. I think, everybody's been saying maybe it's time for Nate Hackett to go. His play calling has been conservative at best. He is not attacking the secondary, and Orton is not getting any younger. He's kind of looking like Drew Bledsoe back then when we had him. So, he did give us the best chance this season to make it to the playoffs. I think next year EJ is going to develop. Maybe we'll even draft somebody in the draft or go after one in free agency. But same thing again. You don't want to, ruin a man's confidence by not believing in him. I do think that Marone and Hackett both believe in EJ. Right now, they're just dedicated more to winning. And I think EJ, watching from the sidelines and learning what Orton does in terms of calling audibles at the line, in terms of how he manages the game, he's a good game manager. There were some issues I had during the game that he probably should have corrected, but again, you live and you learn. I think that maybe Hackett will go. Obviously, I think Jim Schwartz needs to stay the defensive coordinator, and I think give Marone another chance. I don't think Doug Whaley's going anywhere. I don't know what Terry and Kim Pagula have up their sleeves. He's a very wealthy man, and he is devoted to winning. He just proved that this season. And same thing with the Sabres. I know, a lot of you guys might not be Sabres fans, but I'm a Sabres fan. And, they got on a winning streak here, and they're getting hot too. And Terry Pagula will do whatever it takes to win. If that means letting people go that may not be necessarily, that fans may not agree with, then so be it. I think Sammy next year will develop into a better wide receiver. I think a healthy CJ is going to help us if he doesn't leave. And I do believe we need to re-sign Jerry Hughes, Marcel Darius. We need to keep that defense intact. Preston Brown had a great rookie season for the Bills. He was the leading tackler on defense. I could imagine pairing him up next to Kiko next season, and man, that would be a dominant middle linebacking core on top of our defensive front. I'd love to see Corey Graham come back. McKelvin seemed like he was doing pretty well this season. Aaron Williams looks like he's developing pretty nicely. Ron Brooks got a little bit too aggressive today, but I do think that the secondary will develop into a better unit next year, and I think that the continuity here is gonna help us. Like I said, I don't know exactly what is going to happen, as none of us do. It does stink to be so close to the playoffs, only to be eliminated last week. But I've been a Bills fan my whole life, and I'm old enough to remember the 4 straight Super Bowl losses, and it's nice to finally have meaningful football again in Buffalo. I think next year we'll get it together. This team is not happy with finishing at 9-7 and missing the playoffs. Like Aaron Williams said last week, everybody had the Bills pinned at 4-10 or 4-12, and they finished 9-7. So that's 5 games better than anybody gave them credit for. I think next year the defense will still be dominant. I think the offense needs to work on developing some continuity, just like Belichick was saying with the Patriots today. He was going to keep the starters in to develop continuity going into the playoffs. I think the Bills need that on offense next year as well. And I believe that we will be much better next season than this season, especially with Sammy Watkins having another year under his belt. His rookie season, like they always say, rookie seasons are tough. And, I think that if there's a quarterback competition, I think EJ is going to develop nicely. And I think he may push for the starting job, which won't necessarily be a bad thing. He is more mobile than Orton. May not be as accurate and may not be as great at hitting, the right receiver, getting the right reads. He does stare down the receivers quite a lot, but I think that's all stuff that can be fixed and adjusted. Robert Woods, I think, is going to have a monster season next year, and I think Watkins will develop again nicely. Chris Hogan, if we can keep him, that's why they call him 7-Eleven. He's always open. The man makes pretty good plays. Scott Chandler's an underrated tight end. We don't get him the ball enough, but the question is going to be, does Freddie and CJ stay? And if they don't, are we going to be productive enough with Anthony Booby Dixon and Bryce Brown? I think Bryce Brown's going to be a nice running back in the NFL if he's given the opportunity and if he's utilized properly. I don't want to see this offense check down like they've been doing with Trent Edwards, Fitzpatrick, all of them. It was nice to see them kind of open up the playbook a little bit this game. I know a lot of you had said on Facebook, why did we wait till the last game of the season? Maybe we needed to just kind of see it. And I think now that we've seen it, we are expecting bigger things next season. I do think that we're going to get it going, and I think that next year we're going to be even better than this year. Again, Kiko's going to come back healthy. The defense is going to be dominant again. And I think if Orton can work out the kinks, and maybe if we can even get EJ to play a little better, I think on both sides of the ball we're going to be pretty tough. But, only time will tell. We'll see what happens in the offseason. And, I will try to post another episode here, throughout the offseason, see what's going on. I just, it's going to be kind of hard to do it during the offseason. Maybe I'll get on while there's some news going around in the NFL and stuff like that. But, I'm pretty pleased with the win today. I'm glad that we finished with a winning season, and I'm looking forward to next season just like the rest of you. So, it's been a great season, guys. And as I've been saying all year, don't stop believing. And next year, on to bigger and better things. And keep on circling those wagons. All right, let's go, Buffalo. See you guys next year.